Good day, my friends. Welcome to Tom's Tinkering and Adventures. And as always, I'm Tom. So, my time here in Anchorage is about done. I've been spending time with the family here, relaxing. Went up to Denali. If you haven't checked out my Denali video, I posted some pictures and video up on my channel the other day. So I just shared a little bit of our adventure up there. But tomorrow morning I'm going to be heading on out of here and working my way back to the US. But before I do that, I want to try to make a run to get across the Arctic Circle. I'm up here and what the hell, you know? Let's see what it's all about. And also there's a new road in Canada that goes up to a small village called Tuktoyaktuk, and I'll show you that on the map here. But that road has only been open since November, so it's kind of new, and a lot of people are checking it out this year. And I'd really like to experience that while it's still kind of new. Supposedly the town has not had a whole lot of tourism because it wasn't accessible by road until the last several months. So should be pretty interesting, and I don't know if we're gonna make it or not. Weather is gonna play a big factor on that, but let me show you on the map what this is all about here real quick. Go to my interactive map here. Thank you to my non-sponsors, AAA. Yeah, I don't have sponsors, but I am a AAA member. And if you're not, they're not too bad of a place to go to and get your DMV stuff done. Let me see if I can get some good light in here because it's kind of terrible. And focusing is not very good either. Tell you what, we're gonna open the window. We're in the land of lots and lots of sunlight here. Beautiful outside. There you go. That might help. Okay, all the way at the top of the world up here is the small village. Tuktoyaktuk. And I'm not focusing worth a crap on my map here, but this road is all gravel. All the way down to here to Dawson City. Now Dawson City is about 500 miles from where I'm at here in Anchorage. So we're hoping that tomorrow we can make it to Dawson City. There's a ferry you have to cross there, and the last, I don't know, 100 kilometers or so once you cross into Canada, here is also gravel. So hopefully weather is on our side. We'll see. And I can't remember, I think it's not quite 1,000 kilometers all the way up here, so about 500 or 600 miles. But it ought to be quite interesting. And let me go back one more time, so apologize for that. Right there is the Arctic Circle. So at the very least, I would like to get across the Arctic Circle, to get all the way up to here, and to dip my toes into the Arctic Ocean would be quite interesting. I don't know as if it will happen or not. The road used to end right here at Inuvik. So this last section is new. And I've been reading a lot of reports on it online. And pretty interesting. Some people say they had no issues at all. Other people said it was impassable. And it really just depends on the weather. So I have a couple days set aside for this. My buddy Ken, I was just over visiting him momentarily ago, not too long ago. He also has a couple days set aside on his schedule for this, so we'll see how she plays out. And I imagine I won't have any connectivity, but I will shoot daily videos at the very least and get lots of pictures. And I'm getting a little bit better at that sort of thing. A little practice with my Denali trip. Put together a little compilation, so I'll try to do that on this as well. We'll see. The video editing is not my thing, but I'm learning. So, in preparation here, let's go over what I've got. Hey, how you doing, Paul? I just want to show you this here. I picked this up at the thrift store on base. If you all know me, you know that I'm a Pabst Blue Ribbon guy, and this was on the thrift store on base. I don't golf. But the thing is so dang cool, I got it anyway, and I'm leaving that to my wife to get home. So just going through my clothes here, sorting that out. I haven't really gotten rid of anything, changed a few things around, and I actually think I added an extra shirt or two because I noticed hanging out around here, I was just had all my camping stuff and it wasn't really all that comfortable just wearing that all the time. So I added an extra t-shirt into the mix. My food stuff. Oh yeah, got the ever important can of Spam. Yeah, Greg Miller asked if I got a golf bag and I don't golf. That's exactly right, but I am a Pabst Blue Ribbon fan. And I think this thing is so cool, look at it. Yeah, I can't help myself. So I got my bear resistant food container here. If any of y'all have ever hiked, backpacked, rode a bicycle, that sort of thing through bear country, they highly recommend you have one of these. I know it's plastic, but they say it is supposed to be bear resistant. Oh, and I can't put DEET on the inside. That's interesting. Didn't know that. But anyway, this is supposed to be bear resistant. And I just got my normal stuff in here. Some trail mix and lots of coffee. And some protein mix stuff and my can of Spam, and I'll probably throw a couple other items in there. I don't bring a whole lot of food because we can stop at the gas station almost any time and get something to eat there. I like to have some food on here though. Let's see, my shoes, charging up all my electronics, charging up my helmet, charging up my spot, which I don't know if y'all remember, if you watched any of my previous videos, I had some issues with that spot. And when I got here, I had a whole bunch of emails that finally popped into my inbox. And Spot sent me an email and said they had a updated firmware. So I loaded that, and we'll see how that works. And I also let them know that I was having issues with it. And they said to contact them. Oh, Greg Miller says he's surprised that many RVers, oops, that they don't do freeze-dried food. Freeze-dried food is fine. I've done it for backpacking. My wife and I, the reason I have a beer canister is my wife and I had backpacked in not the Sierras. Well, anyway, up in the Sierras area. It'll come to me here in a minute where the heck we were at. But it is bear country, and we had to have those. We bring freeze-dried food when we're backpacking. Now, the issue I have with freeze-dried food is it's very expensive. If you buy it, $6, $7 a meal. And it wouldn't be bad to have one or two on the bike just as a backup. But at $6 or $7 a meal, I might as well just eat at a diner. So let's see. I got my maps. I really favor paper maps. I am not a GPS guy all that much. I do have a map program on my phone. I don't have a GPS, but that's that. Let me, kind of dark here because the baby is sleeping. And we'll keep the garage a little dark too because the door opens, always bothers her, wakes her up. So I did an oil change on the bike today. Other than that, just checked the tire pressure, went over everything. Added my favorite Shell Rotella. A lot of people like to use motorcycle oil. This is kind of like a religion thing. You don't want to start talking about oil too much, but this is what I run in my bike. So it works. And I decided that I'm probably going to hold on to this oil container as a backup gas can because the first section on that road from Dawson to, let's see, I think it's Eagle Plains is the name of the city. It's like 250 miles with no gas, and my bike will just about do that. It might do that, it might not. I've never done 250 miles on a tank on this bike. I know it'll do 200. If I slow down, it'll get better mileage. I've got a, let me see if this will even show up. There you go, you just barely see it. But I've got a 1 liter fuel can strapped to the inside of this box. So 1 liter will get me approximately 10, 12 miles. And I just figured having this oil jug. I mean, I can pick up a gas can, but that's the only place I'm going to use it. So what I'll probably do is I'm going to fill this up, tie it down, and if I need it, I'll use it. If I don't, I'll empty it out and I will tie it back on here and hold on to it for the way back. Yeah, Paul, 1540 is diesel oil. That's exactly what this is. This is Shell Rotella, which is a heavy-duty diesel oil. Like I said, I didn't want to get into this too much, but I'll just cover, yeah, right there, heavy-duty diesel. So, you have several camps on oil. So like I said, we could get started on religion or politics, and I'm not going to touch either one of those. But since I'm a tinkering and adventure guy and motorcycles, I use it. I've been using Shell Rotella in my motorcycles for the last, geez, I don't know how many years. Let's say 15 to 20. And that's what I have exclusively used in every motorcycle I have in my garage that I have owned. And I remember reading an article on it many years ago, probably about that point when I started using it, or I don't want to think that I was using it before I had read about it, because I am a research guy, but that diesel oil contains a lot of zinc, and motorcycle transmissions run in the oil that the engine runs in as well. It's a combined unit, so you need a lot of shear resistance in your oil. And there was a guy who had done research on oils and sent in oil samples into labs, and the Shell Rotella T performed really well, and it's reasonably priced. Now, I'm never going to tell anybody that that's what they should run. If someone asks me what I run, I will tell them, and I say, you're more than welcome to run that. You're more than welcome to run Yamalube, which is, this is a Yamaha bike. You can run Yamalube at $8.99 a quart or whatever it is. I mean, in the grand picture, it's not going to be a whole lot more expensive on a bike, especially. This motorcycle holds about 4 quarts. So I bought this Shell Rotella for 20 bucks, let's say it was. So for 4 quarts, that's $5 a quart. So if I buy Yamalube at $20 for 4 quart, or for $40, $10 a quart, I'm spending $20 more in oil change. Oil changes are supposed to be like every 7,500 miles on this bike, and I'm not going to go that far, 5,000. So even if you do 100,000 miles, 20 oil changes at $20 more in oil changes, $400 over that amount of time. Now, okay, 400 bucks. Who's going to put 100,000 miles on a bike? Well, I have before. Well, I didn't do it all myself, but I had a bike that ended up with 100,000 miles, and I've probably put hundreds of thousands of miles on different bikes over the years. So my savings are really negligible when you look at it in the big picture, but it's readily available. It's easy. I mean, I can go to a Walmart, an AutoZone, O'Reilly's, Checkers, or whatever you might have in your neighborhood and pick up oil, and this is what I've been running. And I noticed a question someone had asked about fuel mileage, and I've never really noticed any fuel mileage difference with any kind of oil that I've ran. Now, I have run other oils, but I almost always go back to running Shell Rotella T. And here, look at that. I'm really getting into the oil controversy. Watch out. It's, if you ever pay attention on a motorcycle forum, someone asks an oil question and people just go nuts about it, because you have all kinds of different camps of people who will not run anything different than exactly what is stated in the manual. Other people who seem to not give a crap what they put in there, and then you get the people in the middle. So I'm of the mindset that Yamaha does not own an oil company. So Yamaha's not making that oil. Now, that's not to say that whatever they recommend isn't the right oil, but I'm running this in here, the bike's here, so it made it here. And I have a pretty good feeling it's gonna make it home. My last bike made it everywhere it needed to go, and every other bike in my garage is still going, so it's not really empirical data, is it? But it is what it is. Oh, hey, I know someone had asked about these shelves one time too. Hopefully that she still watched my videos, but I know someone had asked me a question about these shelves offline, and my son-in-law made these. They're very similar to some shelves that I made in my garage. So I just thought I'd give a quick look at them here since I'll be heading out tomorrow. It's just 2x4 framing, really, really simple. and you locate the studs in the back wall, and you make these frames, and then you just put the faces, the longboards on the front, stand them up. When I built mine, I just built all 3 or 4, I don't remember how many I had, and I screwed them all to that, and then I had someone help me stand them up, and then I drilled into the studs in the back, and I put like 2.5 or 3 inch long screws, so I definitely sunk them into the studs all the way. And then you can put plywood of whatever type you like on the top. And on mine, I actually even, I put a 2x4 across here to make the whole thing the same thickness. And then I put doors on mine. But it's a great way to put some garage storage. I think he said he has less than $100 into that. And that's a lot of storage. I think these are just chipboard. So, yeah, Paul was asking what these are. Looks like it's just particle board shelving, but you could put whatever you like on here. This is pretty strong stuff, really. I mean, it's interior, so it doesn't really matter. I think on mine I used actually some pretty thin stuff, but when we got done, my son and I laid down on them like they were beds. And yeah, you can climb up the thing. They're super strong, super reasonable, easy to put up. And there you go. So if I can't remember who it was who asked me, but if you're still watching my videos, hopefully you are, there's a little bit on those shelves. And once I get back into my shop, I'll go over those shelves and maybe describe them a little bit better. But I just give it down and dirty on it. But anyway, we are less than 24 hours away from departure. Yeah, Paul, bunk beds, that's exactly what they looked like when I was done. Less than 24 hours away from departure. I think I have everything I need here. Well, you know, I've never done this before. I made it up here, never done before, so going home, never done that before either. I'm sure I'll make it. The only thing that I didn't get that I wanted to was I had ordered a set of gloves from the place here in Anchorage called Alaskan Leather, and they called me, said they didn't have them last week, like Wednesday, so I'll give them a call and maybe swing down to Anchorage if they have them and pick them up. Otherwise, I'll survive with the gloves that I have, and we'll just suffer if we need to. Oh well, a little bit of suffering does you good. But hopefully I get to some point where I get some Wi-Fi after. I imagine I won't have any tomorrow or the following 3 to 4 days thereafter. Because once I'm north, I'm not counting on there being a whole lot of connectivity anywhere. But in the link description below every one of my videos, there is a follow me, or I forget what I called it, but if you click on it, it will show you where I'm at on my spot tracker, live updates as I go. So keep an eye on that, cheer me on as I go. I appreciate the support. Thank you very much for watching my videos. And as I like to say, get out there and find your adventure. Adios, my friends.